Hello and welcome to this fabulous episode of the AI Show. Holiday edition. By the way, I got a new pop filter, so I can say my P's and my B's without blowing out your speaker. I'm so excited to be here. I am a huge fan of AI. I'm a huge fan of everyone who gets to come to these, and I get to be with you. Where's everybody coming from, by the way? Let's get those things going in the chat. Happy Friday, indeed. We got this. Man, this is the positivity is just lifting my Friday. For many people, at least here in North America, they're coming on the 2 weeks of slowing down and doing some stuff with family and friends, etc. But I'd love to know where everyone is coming from. I'm super excited that everyone is here. Let's see. I'm looking here at the chat. Where's everybody coming from? So, all right, here we have someone that is going to be giving us some really good commentary today. The most dangerous. Hold on, I'll put some. Here, the most dangerous prototype hybrid to make alliance of all races, stars, universe. I don't even know what the next comment is on that. I don't know how you can follow up with that. Paris, France. Bienvenue. Bienvenue, mon ami. Je suis quelqu'un qui peut parler français, mais seulement un petit peu. I'm trying to... You know, one of the greatest Christmas holiday movies ever, Home Alone. They went to France, but they did not stay. Very upsetting. NYC, NG. NYC in the house. Delightful. I used to live in New York. Wonderful place. Wonderful place. Midland, Texas. Welcome. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. You know, I'm actually from West Philadelphia, born and raised there. I used to spend a lot of time on the playground. You know, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, playing some b-ball outside of the school. There was one day, though, when there's a couple of guys who were literally up to no good. Started making trouble in my neighborhood. And I one fight, my mom was like, I'm done. I had to move with my uncle and my aunt in Bel Air. True story. Welcome from India. When I used to travel, the last kind of trips I went on was to India, Bengaluru and Mumbai. What a lovely place. I'm not even kidding. Amazing. Amazing. Vancouver. Nicest people ever. Another person... Did anyone believe my story? Wes, I was in the airport one time, and I was in Philadelphia, and I was talking to my coworker, and I did the story, and everyone just looked at us because I did it really loud. You know, you probably can tell I'm pretty loud, and they were like, "Oh, this guy from West got in a fight," and then they're like, "Oh, this guy, am I right? This guy, okay." Alrighty, time to talk about what we're doing today. Kapowie. Pandemic purchase. Pandemic purchase here. Hello, sir. What would you like to buy today? I'd like to get a Wacom tablet. Are you sure this isn't something you're buying because of the pandemic? It isn't. It's just... I feel like I need a Wacom. Does your wife know you're buying this? She does not. That's not important. All right, number one today. We have some guest hosts today. Some of the coolest dudes I have met are going to be taking us through some awesome tech. I'm pretty excited about it. We have... I'm so dumb. Oh, man, I pushed the wrong thing. Oh, no. Pandemic purchase. Stop failing me. We have Rob and Albert are going to take us through no code, low code solutions to doing AI with Ashish. And I'm pretty excited because, like I said, I think AI is accessible to everybody. I think AI is our future. Treat them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty. Okay, number 2. After we talked to Rob and Albert for a little bit, we'll look at the show that we've recorded, and then Ashish has been gracious enough to stop by and to actually, answer questions and show stuff. We may be able to show you more stuff. I don't know what's going to happen. We have technical difficulties. We can all just laugh at each other and don't tell my boss. So number 2, we'll hang out. We'll hang out with these good folks. And then whenever we're done there, we're going to go back to some work. I actually have to I have to make a demo. I have to make a demo for some folks, and it was due this week. So instead of Rochambeau, I'm thinking we're going to try to do some auto ML, automated machine learning, so we're gonna see if we can't auto ML our way out of making a demo. And to do that, we're going to have to make some data. And that's what we're doing. All right. I'm so excited everybody's here. All of you youths. I may do a best of show as well. I forgot about that. So if there's some episodes that you really like, or you want me to wax poetic about something and then play it in 2 weeks, let me know. All right. Without further ado, let's get Rob up here and Albert. Here is Albert, my good friend. What's up, my dudes?
What's going on, Seth? How's it going?
It's so good to have you, my friends.
It's a pleasure to be
met. How long has it been since we met? We met at some thing, and then we're like, we need to have you all come on do some show. Where did we meet?
You met after eating some delicious food.
See,
100%.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes with me. Like, if there is some delicious food and you are there, we are friends.
Bonding over food is the best type of bonding possible. So that was definitely one of those experiences.
That is correct. So tell us about yourselves, my friends.
2 months ago.
I'm going to boost your audio. Go.
Of course. Sure. So
Rob.
Yeah. So how's it going, everybody? My name is Rob Nunez. So I am a product marketer on Power Platform. And I focus around AI builders. So super excited to be here and be able to talk about this amazing no-code AI solution and really get a chance to highlight what it looks like and how we're looking to break down those barriers of AI, right? Like AI could seem like a very complex and daunting thing to do, but AI Builder definitely changes that viewpoint. And I'm super excited for Ashish to be able to show you what AI Builder is capable of. So,
dude, yeah, exciting. Albert.
Well, hi, everybody. Super excited to be on the AI show. So hopefully this is the first of many different appearances. But I am a content program manager over at Xbox. And while a lot of my work does go around social media, gaming, of course, and building content, AI is always not too far behind. So a lot of the stuff I do has AI in the undertone of things. So very happy to be here and looking forward to a really good show.
All right, just a couple more people are popping in. Argentina.
Welcome, Argentina.
This Sunday.
World Cup, yes.
Yeah,
it's Argentina versus France. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with my boys in Argentina.
Man, Messi, it's a bad man.
Oh man, he is
bad man with jammer.
He's a goat, man. He's one of the goats. And so we have him. We have some of Argentina, and then Mozambique. Hello, my friend. I've only been to one, and Africa is a huge country. I've been in Morocco, which is like a completely different place than it was when I went to Kenya, which was a wonderful place. So like I said, I've been to a lot of places. I've found that people are just excited about tech. So how about this? How about we roll the thing that we did, and then I'll let you two take it on after that. Does that work?
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
Let's do it. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the AI Show where Rob, Albert, and Ashish take you through a no-code, low-code solution for AI called AI Builder. Make sure you tune in.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to this episode of the AI Show where myself and Albert are co-hosting. I know you guys are used to seeing Seth on the show, but we've taken over today for an incredible episode with our good friend Ashish here. So we're going to be opening up a world of low to no code AI solutions with AI Builder. So I'll pass it over to Albert to introduce himself and we'll get into this amazing demo.
Thank you for that, Rob, and great intro. Hi, I'm Albert Dankwa. I am a content program manager over in the land of Xbox, but data and AI is everywhere, and which is why that has brought me and Rob both to the AI show. And hopefully this will be the first of a number of appearances from both he and I. But enough chatting. Let's get down to what we're really here for today.
Awesome. Ashish, we'll leave it to you.
Hello, everyone. I'm super excited to be here. My name is Ashish Bhatia, manager in the AI Builder team. And today we're going to talk a little bit about low-code AI and how we make the entire world of low-code and no-code available in AI and have people kind of play around and democratize AI for everyone.
All right, let's see it.
All right.
Let's go over to the next slide. So software development in today's macroeconomic situation is almost everybody's job. Gartner says by 2025, 70% of new software development will happen in low code and no code. A lot of pro developers are also starting to leverage the low code platform to do accelerated go-to-market of their solutions. So this thing is taking off and we're seeing a lot of traction, especially with intelligent application and intelligent workflows.
Absolutely amazing. And I love to see this, Ashish. I mean, thinking about AI and especially coming from a world of a non-developer background, being able to see how low codes has accelerated and how AI has accelerated in that space is absolutely amazing. And I'd love to continue to learn more about how AI Builder fits into that equation. So,
absolutely. And I come from Visual Basic days. I used to use Visual Basic in school. The draggy droppy interface was super interesting for me, and that has come a long way when we see in Power Platform. So let's go over to next slide and talk a little bit about Power Platform, the low-code platform. So this is the landscape of low-code, no-code AI in Microsoft, right? On the top, you will see Power BI, which is the business analytics tool. Power Apps, you could do application development in that. With Power Pages, you could do website development. Power Automate can be used for workflow automation. And with Power Virtual Agents, you could develop intelligent chatbots. Powering all of this low-code, no-code kind of tools is an underlying layer of data management, which is Dataverse. There's a low-code programming language, which is PowerFX. And then AI Builder powers the low-code AI for all of Power Platform.
Oh, wow. That's quite the offering there, Ashish. Actually, I do have a question. I do see the AI Builder there within the Power Platform. I am wondering though, does AI Builder weave into all of these different apps and platforms here, or is it something that's only like in a few of them? I'm definitely interested to see and learn more about this.
So most of the Power tools are built on that common fabric, and slowly we're kind of bringing AI to all of these tools. But we started off with Power Apps and Power Automate. Some of the new tools like Power Pages is a new entrant into this low-code development world. So gradually you will see AI proliferate into those Power tools as well.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So my question, Ashish, and real quick before we even hop into any of the demo content here is, can we just really quickly explain like how AI Builder fits within the Azure ecosystem, and when does it make sense to be using AI Builder versus using Azure Machine Learning or Azure services in general?
Absolutely, great question, Rob. My next slide talks about that. So this is Microsoft AI stack. At the bottom, you will see Microsoft ML platform or Azure ML platform, as commonly known as. So this platform is for pro data scientists. They have full control over their model architecture, their training jobs, where they want to deploy the model. They have all the dials to kind of tweak the models, right? So you can develop custom models for your workloads and your solutions. The pro data scientists are in control here. They can peak performance. So this is for serious business. And the next layer is cognitive services layer, or Azure AI services. It adds cognitive dimensions to the underlying ML platform. So vision, speech, language decision, you see stuff like that. This layer comes with pre-built and customizable models. But you're still working with code in this layer, right? So it still appeals to pro developers, and sometimes data scientists also use that. But again, it's still serious coding business, right? When you come to the top layer, that's the AI builder layer, the no-code, low-code layer. And you'll see the goodness of the underlying layer bubble up. It's a confluence of all the underlying goodness into that top layer. You still get a lot of pre-built models, but you can also fine-tune some of the models. And then this layer is deeply integrated, as we talked in the previous slide, into the Power Platform. So you could get faster time to market. It also comes with model governance because, to be honest, admins want to control which models go to production, who builds the model, and who has access to AI.
That's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I love the way this is broken down to really kind of define where these areas sit and to what individual personas they cater to. So I want to pause here and just get to see this in action, Ashish. I would love to see AI Builder in action and get to see some of the scenarios. So I would love to hop into that.
Yeah, so let's go over and see some demos. What we're trying to do here is create a simple Power App using pre-built AI. And the goal is that we should be able to click an image of a receipt or upload an image of a receipt. And then the model should be able to extract key pieces of information that you need for your expense report and should be able to create an expense report automatically. So let's see. So again, this is a very simple canvas page. We have scan your receipt and just a next button here. I'll click and upload a receipt. So I went to buy lunch yesterday and I have a receipt from there. I'll open that up. As soon as the image is uploaded, model starts to identify information from the receipt. And once it has done identifying, we can go to the next screen and submit the expense claim. So you see the the blue rectangles, they kind of show identification. We'll click next. It'll populate a set of fields that I have chosen, right? Just a simple example. So merchant name, transaction date, and total. And I'll hit. And sandwich. So the expense is submitted. We can go over to the SharePoint list, which is a list where all the expense reports should show up, and we should have a new entry there. So
just like that. Look at that.
Just like that.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Instant.
Yes, it brings all the relevant information that I chose to be there, and then it uploads the image as well that it picked from.
Incredible.
You know,
first of all, amazing choice of sandwiches, by the way. I heard Albert mention sandwich earlier, and I agree.
It's making me hungry.
Yeah, but amazing to see how quickly you were able to pull that data from that receipt.
And again, the application looks very similar and very kind of simple, right? It has two screens. One screen we saw, which is just a scanner tool, which scans the image. As soon as the image is uploaded, the AI model runs underneath and extracts all the information. And then the second screen is mostly a form which submits to a SharePoint list. And we have a working application. This is pre-built AI. Receipt understanding is a pre-built model in AI Builder and could be leveraged anywhere you are processing receipts, for example.
Incredible.
Wow. That's awesome. Amazing. Well, first of all, before you even continue, it's unrelated, but I hope you got some honey mustard on that sandwich. I think it's a top tier topping. But other than that, is there something that can be done with expense reports And not asking, maybe I might have went on a trip recently, and it would be great to be able to upload these receipts the same way you was able to upload sandwich.
Yeah, sure. So again, one of the other demos that I wanted to talk about is a custom ML demo, right, where we are actually building the ML component or the model behind it. And let's take a look at that. So what we have here is invoices, right? So we get invoices at work a lot of times when we're working with the external vendors, and we need to process that invoice, right? So again, very similar example. This time I'll upload the invoice in a SharePoint and not an application. So let's go do that.
Wonderful.
I'll go pick some invoice data that I have. Okay. So the previous example was an example of working with Power Apps, right? This example, we are working with Power, so it's an automation workflow. So you won't see an application running, but what's happening is we have uploaded an invoice to SharePoint, and what happens is there is a Power App which is waiting for that clue. As soon as a new invoice or a file is uploaded to that SharePoint, it'll get into action. It'll take that PDF in this case, extract all the relevant information that I've already trained it for, and then move that information somewhere else so that an approval workflow can happen there. Right? So what happened was the file got uploaded, and in a few minutes we should see. So the flow should be, the automated flow would be running in the background, right? If I refresh, let's see if the flow has finished. We should see a third entry here. So not yet. Let's give it a few.
Let's give it one more refresh, see if it pops up.
That's right.
Yeah, there you go, right? So this last, the latest kind of, so what it's extracting is again, key pieces of information that I have asked it for. So invoice number, due date, billing address, sub shipping, total, whatnot. And then link to the original invoice as well. And then what I also did in the flow was I had it send an email to me, right? So as soon as my email opens, we can see a new email that has new invoice process, right? What's under the hood here is a simple flow, right? And the flow is waiting for a file to be created in a given SharePoint. And when the file is there, it kicks in, it extracts that file content, runs it through an AI model that I have trained, and it finds out all those key pieces of information that I asked it to look for. And then it sends an email. It also moves it to a new SharePoint list. And the model building experience is very simple. So this is something I really I'm passionate about. I want to show, right? So for example, this is the model that I had trained. If you go to edit the draft again, give it a few seconds to load in. Oh, so it's there. So you see, it's a workflow here. It's a wizard approach, right? So you're not writing code, you're dragging, dropping, you're telling the system things. So in this case, I've told it these are the things that I want to extract from invoices, and I have given it a collection of training data.
Right.
So my collection of training data has files, right? So I gave it 5 documents, and then I tag those documents. So if I look at a few documents, so if this is my data, I would have told it where is the invoice. So I mean, I could drag and draw kind of rectangle around various pieces of information that are of interest and say, hey, here is what I want you to extract. And once I've tagged those 5 pieces of 5 invoices, I have said, go train the model, right? And get out of it is a train model. Then these are examples of that. So it is simple, right? I mean, everyone knows to do that. Just drag drop.
No, she's absolutely. And I think just taking a look at this, right, and just seeing how easily you were able to create this flow, right? And be able to extract that data from the invoices and just thinking about this at scale, right? And thinking about it from an industry level and how much time can be saved, how much money can be saved. Because this is a task that nobody wants to do on a day-to-day basis, right? Just being able to automate this process and have the AI do the work for you, I think is instrumental, right? And I think it's absolutely incredible to actually see this in action and just see how simple and easy it is. And like you said, the drag and drop capabilities of this without a single line of code being used is something that's like music to my ears, to be honest with you.
Same. It could be said that saving time like this can really boost work-life balance. It can really pave the way for innovation, creativity, just having more time to make your best work. So this is truly outstanding.
Absolutely. And again, when you come to AI Builder, and again, can come to AI Builder via aka.ms, try AI Builder. If you go to the website, you will land here in the Explore page. And Explore page shows you the collection of models that we have. And the collection has pre-built models and custom model as well. So the first example was a pre-built model, and then the second one was a custom model that I trained based on my own data to get a custom model out of that training. So there we have AI Builder.
Amazing. That was awesome, Ashish. And again, thank you so much for being part of the show today and showcasing AI Builder and all the amazing capabilities for it. And looking forward to having you on the show again to dive a little bit deeper into some of those scenarios. And Albert, I'll pass it to you if you have any other words that you want to close out with.
Yeah, of course. Again, I want to echo Rob. Thank you so much for taking us through all of this. It really gets me more comfortable to try out AI because, again, it's something that can seem very out there and challenging, but just seeing stuff such as pre-built models and like really having these opportunities to build and create without doing too much, like in the low code settings, I'm very excited for this. So, thank you for this again, Ashish.
Well said, Albert, right? AI can be very daunting, right? Especially for citizen developers. And our mission is to make that simple and easy to understand and easy to use. And that's what we are after. Thank you. It was a pleasure talking to you guys.
Absolutely. Thank you all for watching and see you on the next episode. All right. And we are back. I hope you all enjoyed that segment. Really, really amazing stuff, Ashish. I'm truly excited for all of the stuff that you were able to showcase for AI Builder in that small frame of time. But AI is way more deep and way more vast than that. And I think I would love to take this opportunity to really get a deep dive. And Ashish, you kind of mentioned it before, right? We got to look at the cake. We got to look at the food, right? But we need to know the recipe. What are those ingredients that go into making some of these scenarios a reality, right? And I would love to see if the tech allows us to do so. We had a little bit of tech issues before, so hopefully we'll be able to make that happen today. But Ashish, I'll pass it over to you and get started with some of this deep dive into the AI Builder user experience. And feel free, viewers, add into the chat. I see a few questions came up, but add your questions in there and we'll be more than happy to answer them as we go through the session. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Albert. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Super excited to be here, and it's always exciting to talk about AI, especially when it's for everyone, right? Of course. And that is the kind of goal that we always shoot for. How do we make it easy to understand AI and consume AI? And how do we also make it relatable? Right, so let me share my screen and see. Give me feedback if you guys can see the screen. Yeah, I have hit share. Waiting on it. Looking good. It's looking good. I can see it pretty clear on my end. If anybody in the chat, viewers, let us know if you can see it clearly as well. But from my end, I can see it. Perfect. So this is something that we called our Explore page. Let me just give you a quick lay of the land. Right, I hit make.powerapps.com. If you do make.powerautomate.com, you'll still come to a similar looking view. It's just is your focus, are you building a Power App or are you building an automated flow, right? So in this case, I hit Power Apps. On the left panel, we call left nav, you will see some of the most commonly used tools. Like if you're building an app, you will have
app as the focus area. You'll have data to work with in the Dataverse, and you will also have AI Builder, right? So this is where you start your AI Builder journey. Explore pages where you see all of the kind of model palettes, right? What models are available, and which should you kind of play around with. Models underneath it is your kind of my models view, where you see your own models that you have built over time. So let's go to our explore page. Right now I'm looking at all models. It kind of shows you everything that's available there. We've also kind of added some categorization, like document-based model, where you're processing some documents. There is text-based models, right? Structured data, and then images for computer vision capabilities. And you'll see a bunch of these tiles. They're all kind of clickable. They are pre-built models, and there are a few ones which are known as custom models, right? So pre-built are ready to go, just like in the demo, right? If I'm trying to process a receipt or an invoice or trying to identify identity, right? So if you're doing know your customer kind of application, then you could add identity model and try to extract information from any identity documents, whether it's driving license, passport, social security card, and then you can do a check with your database to see if this is a known user or not, things like that, right? Let's go to custom model, because I feel, or maybe we start with sentiment analysis, right? So again, this is a pre-canned model, pre-built. You can give it any text and it'll tell you the sentiment of it. So for example, I just, while you guys were talking earlier, I grabbed a headline from CNN earlier. I drop it here and hit analyze text. And again, it shows that it has negative sentiment and it has a confidence score. So something like this is valuable if you're processing, let's say, customer, doing a customer support kind of a thing, right? Anything that's the feed that is coming in, you can add a sentiment model, and you can then say, hey, I want all my negative responses to flow, to go through this flow, or all positive responses to go through another flow, and things like that, right? So you could start building things like that. You will see for every model, you'll see a button which is use in flow. So if you're trying to automate a workflow, you would hit that and you will start building a Power Automate flow. If you're trying to build an application, right, then you'll hit use an app and start building an application. Feel free to ask questions at any point. I'm going to go over.
Yeah, real quick, Ashish, and if we can go back to the actual user experience there. So if we're looking at the different scenarios here, like, can you quickly just elaborate a little bit on like some of the differences between, text recognition, document processing, receipt processing, the identification reader? Like, what are some of the key differences between those kind of scenarios there?
So the key differentiator in case of document processing is the volume of text is much larger, right? You're working with, let's say, contracts, SOWs, which are multi-page documents, right? So those models are fine-tuned to work with this multi-page form factor, right? So those are document processing models. Now, documents can be specific, right? You could have invoice as a document or receipt as a document. So there's more fine-tuning done on top of those models to make them work better for an invoice scenario or a receipt scenario. Also, the model knows what I need to extract, right? So in case of receipt, it's trying to take out your taxes and line items and things like that. In case of invoice, it's looking for billing addresses and things like that, right? So each model is fine-tuned a little bit. Similarly, identity, right? It's looking for identity of the person, expiration date of identity, and things like that. So the kind of information it would extract is different. You also asked about text model. Text model is similar to document model, but we are looking at different things, right? We are trying to extract sentiment. Also, it probably is a smaller kind of chunk of content that you're giving it. So you're doing sentiment analysis, or you're trying to extract entities from a given text, or trying to detect language, or maybe do a translation job and things like that.
Gotcha. Awesome.
Well, actually, could you hold on to that page before you leave? So, speaking of the Explorer page, are all those options there? Are those like predetermined? Is it something that was gotten from community feedback? Like, hey, these are the things that we want to see in terms of simplifying using the AI processes in terms of the models. Yeah. So I'm just curious about it because the moment you do go over to the Explore page, it's already pre-populated with these options.
Yeah, so this is a kind of defined view right now, in the sense it's not personalized in any sense. Right? That
Yes.
Rob would say the same view, and Albert, you would see the same view. The kind of models we are adding is constantly coming from customer feedback. Right? When we started off with some, and then customer said, we want receipt and invoice understanding more natively, right? We don't want to kind of start building models if we don't have to, right? So
Absolutely.
that's another consideration. The other thing is, biggest challenge in AI for low code is a lot of times the developers here are citizen developers. These are business users. They're not kind of professional developers. They don't do coding for work, right, or for a living. So they're trying to solve
Sounds like
some
me.
real life problem, right? They're mostly after a real life problem. How do I solve this, right? And we're trying to get them a tool which kind of relates to that, which brings tech closer to that problem, right? So, and specifically for AI, they don't come looking for AI. They're looking for, hey, there is an email in this other language, and I want to kind of get it in a different language, and I want to extract something out of it, right? The biggest thing that we go after is, how do we make AI relatable, right? How do we kind of bring it closer to their scenario, to their business problem, so that it feels more natural, it feels more seamless to go grab this information or grab this tile, say, hey, I'm processing receipts, let me grab this, versus go do document processing or build your own document processing model, right? So that's the challenge. That's what we're always after. What are those connection points that we can kind of give people?
100%.
Thank you. Yeah, makes
Awesome.
great sense.
Cool. So what I really wanted to also kind of jump into was an experience around how do we build a model, right? So we saw in the demo earlier, there was this invoice processing model, right? So invoice can be processed automatically because there's a pre-built model, but I wanted something else from my invoice. I want to extract something else. So I can go and build my own invoice processing, right? So in this case, I picked, I want to create a structured document because invoices have a flow. It's not unstructured in that sense. And then I went and picked some examples. So let's walk through. So you'll see a workflow here that it'll guide you, it'll take you through that journey of building a model, right? So I picked up some documents. Initially I picked 5 documents that I want to bring in and build the model. Let's see if you add new, and you'll see all those 5 documents here. If you're trying to update this model, let's say it's not performing well in certain scenario, right? And I add a new kind of piece to it. So if I go back and say, hey, I want to add a document, and that document is somewhere in my machine. So I go pick some sample files that I have around invoices. And let's say one of the tests that I have not shown it, and this is an interesting one because this specific document, I made some edits. Okay? So by default, that model that I trained would not have picked it up, or might have, right? But it could give us low score sometimes because it's handwritten text, right? So let this document go over and see different in this one, right? I've scribbled up some stuff here, right? So in this case, I'll give model more examples of things that it has not seen, right? Generally, model would give low confidence on things that it has not seen and it's not sure about it, right? So the moment you realize that, you want to give it more examples of that. Hey, this is also an example of where you can grab this information, you can update it, right? So for example, tagging experience simple. I come here and say, hey, this text here is an invoice, right? This text here is balance amount, right? Things like that. And then this text here is total, right? You see a table here, right? We can also tag a table and say, hey, I want to extract all of this information, right? And it's a items table, right? When we come here, it gives us a very simple UI of, it has identified columns. I can mark here all the rows here. Okay. And And I can shift this to make it look a little more precise if I'm happy
Look at
with
that. Look at that
everything.
precision you got there.
Man,
Super precise.
I needed
And
this, man.
This one is not okay.
Beautiful.
There, my table looks good. So I would say, okay, I'm done with this. Oh, one thing I forgot is the top item is top row is not an item field. It's actually header. So I would say, okay, first row, ignore that. So now it just extracts everything, and I'm say, I'm done, right? A few other fields like due date. If I'm not gonna sit down and tag anything, but you get the point, right? I mean, I've tagged more important fields right now, but you can, for example, go due date. So this thing is a due date, and or let's do it. Bill 2. So we'll tag this as bill 2. We'll tag this as email. So basically, I'm picking stuff that I need and telling the model,
yeah,
here is
like
what
recreating.
where you find everything, right? So there's no coding experience. Just drag and drop stuff, point to things, and just tell the model where it needs to find stuff, right? So now finish this document, marked it as purple. Everything is done. I say next to all new examples that I wanted to show the model. I've shown it, and I say go train. Right? It'll take some time. It'll run the training job, and within a few minutes, we'll have a new version of the same. And now it can understand some handwritten text on the receipts as well, or invoices.
I just want to say, like, are we just gonna gloss over the fact that that Ashish inked on the page and was able to turn that ink? I mean, I thought that was amazing. Like, he literally inked on the page and he was able to put that into the model. So text-based, even handwritten stuff as well. That's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Good news from our
the model
Surface
is
Pen.
trained, ready to go. So one of the other things I wanted to talk about is building models is easy. I mean, we see this all the time with working with professional developers, that they build models and a large portion of those models never end up in being used or in an application. The power of Power Platform, or just low-code tools here, is you can take this model and quickly translate into something meaningful that you can use, right? So we saw in the example that we had the model and we tied it up with a flow, right? So right here, oh no, this one. Sorry, this one. So here is the flow, which is actually using the same exact model. Now that model that we just built, updated here, is ready to go because we have overwritten the previous version with a new version, right? So ready to go. In our flow, it again is a very simple interface or similar interface where flow is a collection of steps, right? So the first step was, hey, go grab the file from the SharePoint. If a new file ever lands there, grab that new file. I could even have an additional earlier step that if an email lands into my mailbox and it has an attachment, go download it here, right? So whenever the email comes, attachment gets downloaded to the SharePoint. Whenever there's a new file in the SharePoint, it'll grab that, right? And then what it is doing is I'm saying, grab the content of that document, right, and give it to this model that I've built, right? Model is the same invoice processing model. Once the model processes that file, it now knows those entities that I asked it to recognize: the invoice number, the due date, the shipping value, the total value, right? And then what I'm saying is, hey, go take all of this value, individual values, and put them in a SharePoint list, because my approval workflow is working on top of a list or something, right? It also kind of informs me with an email that, hey, all of this information has been processed. Or if it fails, it'll do the same thing. It'll say, hey, I was not able to process this email. You can go back to that specific file and bring it into your training data and further improve your model.
That's beautiful. Absolutely impressive. Impressive. You actually had a few questions as you were going through the demo, Ashish. So I hope you don't mind to answer some of them that came up. But the first one is from Paulo Piovano. Hope I pronounced that properly. And the question is, what is the limit number of collections that we can have?
If I'm not wrong, you can have 500 collections for a model. And the idea behind collections is if you're processing email, if you're a business, right, you're working with different suppliers, right, they might all have slightly different form factor of how they kind of build their invoices, right? But the information that you are trying to extract are common, right? So you want to take nuances of all these different suppliers and their formats, so you can create collection of all your suppliers, have some examples, 5 examples in each of those collections, and what you get is very consistent information because you're looking for the same information from those suppliers.
Cool. And then real quick, so like as we talk about document processing and being able to extract information, right? I think a common question that tends to come up is when we look at intelligent document processing all up, I think to kind of define what the difference is between IDP when it comes to using it within syntax, whether it comes within using it with AI Builder or AI services. Can you just elaborate a little bit on some of the key differences between the 3 forms of IDP that are available out there?
Absolutely, right? Very, very good question. Great question, actually. It starts with the same intent, right? That make AI accessible and understandable and usable in its kind of more organic form factor. So for example, if people are very comfortable working with SharePoint, right, give them embedded AI in shape that they can use it right there, right away. That's syntax for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you are trying to get things in and out of SharePoint or do some other workflows, then Power Automate or IDP is the way to go. That you want to curate your own workflow, you want to build out things on your own, right? All of this is still built on top of the same form processing that you get from Azure AI that you talked about, right? So if you're a developer and you want to just not care about any of that and build your own experiences, the same underlying technology is still available to you. So the form factors change, but the tech is same, right? So if you're a professional developer, you're getting access to the same state-of-the-art tech. If you're a citizen developer, you're still getting the access to the same state-of-the-art tech. It's just, it's available in different form factor, which resonate in your situation with your situation.
Yeah, incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I love the ability to kind of diversify how we're using that technology. Albert, you had something?
No. I was actually trying to look for the next question too in the chat.
Yeah, so we had one more in the chat. I'm not sure if you were able to elaborate that enough, but we had one, probably not going to pronounce this correctly, but I'll start with the first part, which is Bala. And they were asking to share more on how to download the flow.
Yes, there we go.
So flow, the couple of things that you could do from a download perspective, right? I don't know the intent of the question, so I'll try to answer what I know for sure, right? So sometimes think of when you're building the flow or the app, right? You put on the hat of a maker. You're building something. You're solving a problem. Sometimes you're not solving the problem for yourself, but for your entire team, right? So as a maker, you build certain things, but then that's not the environment that you're going to use it in, right? You want to deploy it, right? So we call it the deployment workflow. So you want to take it from an environment where you're developing things into an environment where you're going to consume things, right? And that consumption is meant for larger teams. So I might have built a flow for myself, but my team of 25 is going to use it for some workflow, right? So in those scenarios, you can add these flows into what's called a solution, right? It's a package, right? Sometimes your solution is a combination of a few flows, a few apps, a data set, and a model, something like that, right? So you can download the entire solution. We call it application lifecycle management. You download the package and then you upload it into a production environment or an environment where you're going to use it versus build it, right? And you lock up things that you cannot change the model, or right? So you kind of put some restrictions. So that's something that's possible, and we call it deployment workflow or application lifecycle management workflow.
Awesome.
Okay. So pretty much, versus getting the same whole cake that you just made, what you're going to get will be the cake mix and every particular piece of ingredients that makes the cake, along with the instructions in that package that, here's how you build a cake. We won't give you the same cake built from the ground up, but here's exactly how you build it, right?
Yeah, it's more of
Okay.
we build the cake here with all the ingredients, and we are serving copies of it, or we are serving the cake
Right.
to you from a consumer standpoint. So think of producer persona and consumer persona, right? If that's
Got it.
another way to think about it.
So, Ashish, we're going to go into a topic that I think everybody likes to talk about. So, everything in the world, for the most part, is not free, right? And I'm pretty sure that these AI models and scenarios are not as well. So, what does the licensing look like for AI Builder? Like, if somebody was interested in trying AI Builder today, how does it look to be able to incorporate some of these scenarios within their Power Apps or their automate flows? Like, are you able to break that down a little bit just for the audience so we can kind of understand a little bit how the licensing structure works for AI Builder?
Yeah, absolutely. And whenever we do an AI Builder session, that's one of the most kind of popular topic,
The
and for
most
good
popular question.
and for good reasons, right? It is not ideal, and that is something we are consciously and consistently thinking and ideating and trying to simplify. But what I will say is, our tool is meant for low code, no code. Our licensing should be that way as well, right? It should be easy to understand, easy to consume, right? All of that, right? So cognizant of that, we're working on it. Today, AI Builder gets seeded in. So when you buy, for example, Power Automate or Power Apps, right? Some value of AI Builder gets seeded into it, so that as you are exploring these tools, you can explore how to build AI into it or embed AI into it, right? And make them intelligent. Once you're happy with that, you can add more credits of AI Builder to your subscription or your license that you already have. So it's an add-on capability that you can add. And a lot of these popular tools or the higher order kind of building tools, they get seeded with AI Builder credits. We're trying to constantly look at ways to simplify that, make it easy to understand. A lot of people ask about, hey, if I run this model or this workflow 10,000 times, right, how much credits will I consume? So we have something called a calculator, which kind of gives you a sense, hey, if you're running an invoice model versus a receipt model versus this model, right, how much credits are you going to consume and things like that. So we constantly trying to make it more transparent, let's say.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah. And I know the licensing has been a big topic, so definitely wanted to bring that up just to kind of elaborate as much as we can on that and try to give a good feedback. But definitely, as Ashish mentioned, it's something that's continuously being worked on. We're taking the feedback and making sure that we make it as easily accessible as possible. Awesome. Well, I think that might be wrapping it up, unless we have a few more questions in the chat that might pop up in the meantime. Super excited, again, Ashish, to have you on the show and be able to really showcase AI Builder. I absolutely love AI Builder, as you know, but wanted to be able to highlight it and be able to showcase what the power of no-code AI solutions look like. And I'm hoping that we're able to do a little bit more of this in the future, be able to take a look at some more scenarios and really dive even deeper. But if there is anything else that you want to touch on, any other resources that people can go and check AI Builder out, or any kind of go-tos, feel free to share them out.
Yeah, the easiest go-to or place to try out AI Builder is go to ak.ms try AI Builder. You will get to the explore page once you kind of sign in. That's an easiest way to experiment and play around with the tool. There's a bunch of documentation that you can get to from Microsoft Learn pages. And then even the explore pages, we have added a bunch of templates, a bunch of examples, a bunch of videos for new users to try out things. We are in constant journey to simplify AI. There's a ton of AI thing all over the place. Our goal is how do we kind of package it up in an easy form factor and make it easy, super easy to use. So that's the jet we are on. Hopefully you'll enjoy this.
Awesome. Thank you again, Ashish. And Albert, I'll pass it to you if you have any last words before we hand it back to Seth.
Yeah, same thing. Well, actually, I was looking in the chat, and I think there was one more from Bala, and they had asked if Flow is built in or need to install separately on Windows. It's not built in. Well, at least not to my knowledge, but I believe that you can use it on mobile or different browsers, different things, as long as you're subscribed or you have a package, something in place. But
yeah,
I'll hand it over to the expert.
Yeah, let me clarify that. So all of these tools are cloud tools, right? You don't need to install anything. You can just go use it on the cloud once you on your browser, right? However, for flows, what we have done is we have also integrated it into Windows, right? So we call it desktop flow. So if you go to Windows 11, it's integrated. Power Apps is integrated, or Power Automate is integrated rather into. So you could automate some of your desktop workflows, right? You're processing your emails. You're trying to do some redundant workflow that you want to automate. You can do it because now it's pre-packaged, already installed as part of Windows.
Okay, well then that's wonderful. There you have it. Either or, right? So it could be desktop, it could be cloud, whatever meets your needs. You're able to do it. I, for one, I can't wait to make these invoices a lot simpler. So save some time.
Sure.
Definitely. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Happy holidays from us. And hopefully we will be able to hop on the AI show again. But I'll hand it back to Seth. Seth, what do you think?
That was delightful. Well done. Thank you, Ashish. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Rob. And hopefully we'll see you all next time. More power. We should have like a power hour on how to do AI. That's not. Did I just come up with a rhyme that? No, y'all have probably used this so many times. Power
That sounds
hour.
like an idea to me, and I would
Yeah,
love
power
to
hour,
be able to
yeah.
do something like that. So
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Well, we'll see y'all later. Take care.
all right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
How delightful was that? Huh? Such good dudes. And by the way, the thing that I like the most about all of that, and if we're going to give them a little round of applause there, is AI is really accessible to everybody. And to me, it's just like software built with data. That's it. You do have to be a little bit more ethical about it because you got to think about what you're doing. But overall, I think it's a great thing. Okay. So in the last hour of the AI show, I actually have to get some work done, and I was hoping maybe y'all could help me out. And like I got a pop filter on my mic now, so you can hear me much better. So let me share my screen here again, and let's get a little reminder about what I was working on. I'm working on a little library called Fibber, and I need to make some data to do some automated machine learning. So let me show you what that looks like, so you can get a sense for why it is that I'm building data. So let me bring up Azure Machine Learning here, which is the tool, which is the let me do the pitch. With Azure Machine Learning, you and your organization can build complex machine learning models in a group, by yourself, or with your friends. Everyone, please use automated machine learning today. Like, I feel like I could be doing voiceovers. This is Azure Machine Learning, by the way. And the cool thing about Azure Machine Learning is if you're wanting to build your own models, this is a cool new thing that I've found. Here, let me get my ugly face out of the way here. You can actually turn on features for this stuff, and the place to go to is ml.azure.com. I don't know why all that stuff comes up. I thought I turned that off. By the way, let's just do this right now. How do you turn all of this off? Edit background. I want let's see here. How do you turn all of this off? Feature view. Oh, I don't want the greeting. I want the greeting off. Show sponsors. Oh, it looks like it's not letting me do that anymore. So this is where you turn it off, but maybe because I'm logged in as an employee, it makes me look at all this stuff. But I don't want to. Layout, custom, focused. There you go. I did it. Focused. I'm still in the room here. It feels like what's going on. So there you go. Turn it off. So if you want to go to learn about ML, ml.azure.com is the Azure Machine Learning place to go to. But I fly dangerously. I go into the main branch of our code. So yeah. And then for those of you that are wondering, we've been recently working on our Rochambeau stuff. Here, let me put my face back in here. We've been working on Rochambeau. Here, let me put it at the bottom here, so that way there's more room. We've been working on Rochambeau, and this is where we do all our stuff. So if you look at like the last couple of things we did, Rochambeau, Rochambeau, Rochambeau. This is the model we built, etc. But there's something interesting called automated machine learning, and I wanted to do a tabular example. Turn music on. A tabular example, and I wanted to do an automated machine learning example for images. So, for example, let me do this. Automated machine learning, RPS. I wonder why it won't let me show supported data assets only. And what supported data assets are they talking about? RPSN. So here's this. I think automated machine learning currently works on. Let's take a look, because I thought we could. Let's take a look. So automated machine learning, Azure. Go learn it together. Let's do this. Wow, man, we're not very good. It's like, what's going on here? I need to call somebody in marketing. What is automated ML? Let's go there. We're going to use V2. Let's zoom in here. Automated machine learning, also referred to as ML, automated ML or AutoML, is the process of automating the time-consuming iterative task of machine learning model development. It allows data scientists, analysts, and developers to build ML models with high scale efficiency. And okay, just tell me how it works. Identify the ML problem. Classification, forecasting, regression, computer vision, or NLP. So, for example, if we're going to solve our Rochambeau problem, you know how we just picked the model, the model that we picked. Yes, I want to cancel the new job. Let's just get out of here. So the last job that I did, here's the Rochambeau thing. The last one we did was November 17th, about a month ago. And notice that I picked a ResNet 34, but I don't know if that was even the right model. Right? So this will work. So I don't have to work on the Fibber data thing yet. I bet I could do a sample with because I need to build a sample to do that shows off automated machine learning. So I bet I can do a vision one. So it looks like we're going to select vision. Computer, choose whether you want choose whether you want to a code first experience. Okay. I'm glad we're here, folks. It feels like we have a problem right here. Choose whether you want to. Let's just fix it. Choose whether you want to use a code for. We're just going to pretend that this also happened in the back end. Let's just pretend. Choose whether you want to use a code first experience or a no code studio web experience. I feel like I am a code first guy. I like studio stuff, but I feel like it obfuscates the work. You know? I don't like when things just like happen and you're like, hey, it did everything. That's great. I'd rather it be like, I did all of it. Yeah, look at how cool we are. Yes. It feels like, users who prefer coder can use Azure ML SDK v2, which is basically a control plane SDK. And what I mean by that is you have code for doing the machine learning, and you have code for controlling the machine learning. I know that's subtle, but it's important to know the distinction. There's the code that does the machine learning. I just poked myself in the eye. Oh my gosh. Code to do machine. We need to Ugh. Hold on. I just poked myself in the eye. Let's see if I did any damage. This eye. Gosh. I didn't know that when I did live streaming. Oh, now you're seeing the door. I didn't know that when I did live streaming, it would be this dangerous. Just poked myself in the eye. Whew. Okay, back to this. Azure ML SDK, it's a control plane. And there's a subtle difference, again, for the code that does the machine learning and the code that controls the process for machine learning. Those are two different things. And that's what the SDK v2 is for. So don't think that you can't. I have to write code for. I told our PMs all the time. I was like, look, if our customers have to write more code to support us, let's just think about it. But sometimes you do. Sometimes you want to automate the whole process to do advanced ML ops, and so we do have a control plane SDK. But that doesn't have to infect. And I say infect in the nicest of ways. That doesn't have to infect your machine learning code. Like our Rochambeau code here, just to remind y'all, open recent here, Rochambeau. Wow, y'all seeing my secret projects. And here, if you go to the AI bits, you'll see, geez. Why did I expand this out like a goober? Let's just close this. We don't need that. Okay. We don't need that. So, for example, in the data part, when we're doing data, notice that there really is, and I'm saying notice, and everything's tiny. There you go. That's bigger. And let me close this. This is the one thing I don't, for some reason, it doesn't pull up my Venv. I think we're going to call these Vems from now on. It's a Python virtual environment. Venvs. How you doing? Someone's going to call me on the phone and just be like, hey, Seth, I just wanted to talk to you about... You want to talk about the Venv? Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was. What's a Venv? Great question. It's an article of clothing I wear on the weekends that nobody knows about. Okay, so there's my Venv. It picks it up, but for some reason, when it starts up, it doesn't pick it up the first time. But notice that as I was talking, this control plane SDK stuff, it's not in here because this is the machine learning code, not the machine learning control the process code. Here's the model code that we have for our Rochambeau. Notice there's nothing in here. I don't need this in there, it looks like. Beep, boop. I have like a whole thing of sound effects, and I'm like, beep, boop. That's my sad. I pushed it because it said sad, but I don't even remember what it was for. Gosh, my eye still hurts because I poked myself in the eye. Okay. Okay, we have a very important question. Caller. Hey, Seth, what's a Venv? Great question, caller. I gotta make it so you folks can call in. Wouldn't that be delightful? Ugh, I would love it. You can like ask questions. We got to set this up for the next one. People just call in. I'm like, okay, caller, tell us what's going on. Yeah, Seth, I'd like to get some advice on what Venv to wear on the weekend. That's a great question, caller. There's so many options. Yeah, I thought there was so many. Yeah, there is. It's a lot of options. Can never go wrong with zebra stripes. Just saying. Zebra stripes. Notice again here that there's no code in here that has anything to do with Azure ML. It's just not in there because this is machine learning code. But again, we're going to be doing an SDK v2 or CLI. I think I like the CLI better because it's like, just do a thing. Oh, I know. MS Dev, you're right. Hi, I'm Phyllis, first-time caller, long-time listener. Thanks for listening, Phyllis. How can I help you? This is embarrassing for me. The Venv I'm wearing is too small. Yeah, that happened to me too. It was a revealing experience. These are the jokes. Azure ML SDK or Azure ML CLI. I think we'll use the CLI v2. Specify the source of the labeled training data. You can bring data to Azure ML in many different ways. Configure the automated machine learning parameters that determine how. Yes. The following. My favorite thing of all time. How to draw an owl. In 2 steps. This is my favorite in 2 steps. There is this owl picture I use for almost all of my presentation. That's hilarious. Hold on, images. Here. No. Let me open this up. It's like how to draw an owl in 2 steps. Oh, wow, there's a bad word there. So don't look at the bad word. How to draw an owl in 2 steps. Draw some circles. Draw the... Let's get one that's more safe for work. Holy cow. Way to embarrass me, internet. Open image in new tab. Here we go. Sometimes I feel like instructions are like this. Let's go back over here. The following diagram illustrates the process. Maybe it's because I poked myself in the eye. This looks really complicated. User inputs, data, target metric. Okay. It's not that bad. So we give it this, and then it goes through this thing, and then it creates a brand. You can also inspect the logged job information, which contains metrics gathered during the job. The training job produces a Python serialized object, or as it's colloquially called, the pickle file. Because who doesn't love a good pickle? Oh, here's a good question. Is Bing a requirement for web search at Microsoft buildings? No. Number one. Number two, I'm in my house. This is my house. Should we do the rest of the show this way, or is this uncomfortable for you? Like right now would be the perfect time for like my computer to freeze, and I just... Do you ever wonder when you're on a Teams call? Is your computer frozen, or are you just staring at me? Good question. Good question. So there's a pickle file. While model building is automated, you can also learn how important relevant features are. Oh, this is cool. So this is another thing. I remember I showed this at a very huge bank, not in the United States, but in another country that was the largest bank of the country. And the data scientists were like, hey, is this going to take our job away as data scientists? No, not at all. In fact, data scientist's job kind of stinks for the first 2 weeks of any new project, because it's like, have we saved any of that data that we need to make this model? And then you're sitting there like for the rest of the day, literally being a data janitor, like trying to figure out what features you're even going to use. And that's what automated machine learning is good at, is that it will figure, like even at, you just basically turn it on the data, and over the weekend, you know. Like, all right, so when to use AutoML? Classification, regression, forecasting, computer vision, and NLP. Well, that's a pretty wide variety. So here's a question, again, from the Keyboard Warrior. Is that no as in no? I wish I need to get a sound effect so that when I do a wink, you know. But in all seriousness, breaking news. I didn't time that right. Let's do that again. Breaking news here at my house. We don't have to use Bing if we don't want to. Let me time that a little better. This is Seth coming from my house to answer the question of Keyboard Warrior. No, we do not indeed have to use Bing, and that's no as in no. I almost timed it. Ship it. All right. Apply automated ML when you want Azure machine learning to train and tune a model for you using the target metric you specify. Build it good. Is there a Dropbox for just build it good? I'm gonna have to put an eye drop in here. I got so excited I poked my own eye with my thumb. If you weren't here for that, it was harrowing. Just yet, Seth Juarez poked his eye during a live stream. He's okay. Ambulances are on their way. That was timed really well. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to clip that. If you're on Twitch, you can clip that. ML professionals and developers across industries can use automated ML to implement ML solutions without extensive programming knowledge. I don't like that. I like my programming knowledge. Save time and resources. I do like that. Leverage data science best practices. I like that too. And provide agile problem solving, as in you're flying. I think for us, our problem is straight classification problem, right? Here's our images, and there's our categories. There's our images, and there's our categories. Okay. It's a classification problem. You can also find a list of automated machine learning algorithms here. Look at all those goodnesses. I don't know of a logistic regression. I don't think any of these things. Why? This feels wrong. I thought this is weird. Why are they calling? I need to ask about this because it feels like we're conflating. Let's see. SGD. Stochastic. By the way, if you're ever trying to sound really smart at like a cocktail party and you're like, you're all just with a group of people and you're like, hi, yeah, my name is Seth. And I figured we'd talk about stochastic gradient descent. And what are your feelings about it? It makes you sound smart if you do that. So, but I don't. Oh, wow. That song is playing on channel 3 too. I don't like that. I don't like that we're calling stochastic gradient descent. Oh, here it is. Let me go back. This isn't a classification. Here, let me tell you what I'm talking about, because I'm like saying stuff and I was like, what the heck are you talking about, Seth? I don't know. Let me lay the knowledge down here if I can. Thank you. Touch is on. We have our data, right? That's used to train. This needs to be featurized. I'm going to use like this little symbol, right? So the data goes into the featurization part. And then the important part is you also, as another step, you have to pick a structure. Then what you do is you pass this data through that structure and optimize its internal parameters, and out you get this model that I'm going to put in as a cube. That's the process. It turns out that the model update is almost always stochastic gradient descent. The model structure is something else, like a decision tree or a naive Bayes classifier or a perceptron or a neural network or some deep learning thing. But SGD is the methodology for optimizing the parameters within that model. That's why I'm having like a existential crisis right now with them saying SGD is a classification algorithm. SGD is an optimization algorithm. Gradient descent, basically what it does is it looks at a function like the decision tree function, and what it tries to do is it takes the first derivative of the function and attempts to march along the area of steepest descent to the lowest part of the function. stochastic simply means we're doing it in batches because we don't have access to all the data. That's all that means. And so that's why I'm having a hard time. I might call them and just be like, hey, this feels wrong. Okay, so let's do this. Image classification to multi-class. So that's what we're doing. See, there we go. There we go. Oh, see, look at that. They try all these things. Oh, I pushed the wrong one. They try all these things. We stuck with a ResNet 34. We've done a ResNet 50. YOLO. This is object detection. YOLO V5. I remember I did YOLO V3 a couple of years ago. Delightful algorithm. Mask RCN. This is for object detection, and then this is for image segmentation. Cool. So let's do this. Should we do? Let's do CLI. I see. So do we have to pick the default model? So how does this work? I see. Okay, I see what's going on. So what do we got here? So let's scroll to the top. Okay, computer vision. Cool. We got that. So we're doing image classification, CLI v2. The task is object. No, not object detection. We want image classification. So we just select that. In order to generate computer vision model, you need to bring labeled data as an input for the model training in the form of an ML table. You can create an ML table from training data in JSON-L format. Interesting. And this is something I've never done before. Because right now our data is in file form. But ML table, that's interesting. So I need to look up what an ML table thing is. So let's open this again. And let's go here. And let's learn about ML tables together. ML table. ML table. ML table is a way to abstract a schema definition for tabular data. So the image data is not tabular data unless we are just having like a path entry, like a list. The idea scenario to use ML table, the schema of your data is complex. Man, my eyeball. Update on the eyeball situation. It still hurts. More at 11. Wow. Man, I really poked my eye. What if I can't see anymore? That's okay. The schema of your data is complex or change. You need a subset of data. For example, a sample of rows or file specific columns. Interesting. AutoML jobs requiring tabular data. If your scenario does not fit the above, then it's likely that URIs are the most suitable. Okay, cool. So it looks like AutoML jobs require tabular data. Okay. If you just want to create a data asset for your job, or you want to write your own parsing logic in Python, use URI file. Okay, cool. So file or folder. This is clever. So what I'm looking at now is, let's go to this bad boy here. It looks like for data formats, we have in Azure ML, it looks like for data formats, we have 3, right? You have the ML table, which specifies like tabular data. Then you have URI file, which says point the training at this file. And then you have URI folder. And I think what we were doing when we were rolling our own thing is we were doing the folder thing. That's what it feels like we were doing. I know. We might need, like, next time it might be like I might have an eye patch on. Yes. By the way, if you have any questions, just pop in the chat. I like on my eye line right here. My screen is right there. The screen that you're seeing over here, all of this is right here for me. And then your chat stuff is just, so if I'm going like this, it's because of the chat stuff. So just feel free to ask questions. Okay. The source, if you want, okay. The YAML syntax detail is always based on blah, 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 blah. Okay. Okay. Paths. Paths can be a file path. Okay. Let's scroll down. Here's an example. Type ML table paths. I don't know what this means. Okay, let's look at the examples here. Examples. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, beep, beep. Sample ML tables. Okay. I'm trying to figure out, like, where's the example? Here we go. Here we go. Prepare. It's like right there. Support for training computer vision models with automated ML. This was experimental public preview feature. Ooh. Seth Juarez currently using experimental features that are in public preview. More at 11. In this article, you learn how to prepare image data for training computer vision models with automated machine learning. Cool. To generate models, you need to bring labeled images. Okay. You can create an ML table from labeled. Okay, I get it. If your label training is a different, like Pascal. By the way, these are for object detection. They're like object detections. Coco. You Googling Coco. You can use a conversion strip. That's fine. To first convert JSON-L and then create an ML table. I'll tell you can use Azure Machine Learning data labeling tool. Do I want to do that though? Because I already have the labels. Familiarize yourself with JSON-L. Okay, JSON-L. Image classification. JSON. Oh, snap. Oh, snap. So I need to write some code to create a JSON-L file. Wow. I don't know if I like that. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let's do this. Instead of me whining like a 5-year-old boy who did not get the cookie at night, and I want a cookie.
Where's my cookie? I want a cookie. Give me a cookie.
Let's just do it. Okay. So JSON-L is just JSON, but each line represents its own thing. Interesting. Okay. So let's take this, let's copy this, and let's go into our doohickey here. This is good. I have to do this. So let's do this. New file. Rochambeau.jsonl. Beep boop. Again, apologies that I do not have a beep boop. And so it looks like what we have to do is we have to write a script that takes the file folder path and then creates this stuff. So let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do new file. Where are you at? Okay. Gen automl.py. And then we'll say if come on. Where is my copilot? If name. There you go. Boop. Slow down. Wow, Copilot. Slow down. Slow your roll. Let's see. Path. And we'll just say this is of type. Patos. No, we'll do stir. we'll do stir. So this would be base path, and then URI path. And you're probably wondering, what do you mean URI path? Oh wow, this is cool. I don't need all that, but thank you. Okay. From pathlib import path bien. And then we want to also what is the parsing thing? There we go. It's like it read my mind. Was that bananas or what? It literally just read my mind. I'm like, where's the parsing thing? And it read my mind. Ooh. Yeah, thanks for reading my mind, Copilot. Look at that. It wrote the whole thing. It wrote the whole thing for me. Was anyone there watching where I was like, what's the parsing thing? And then I pressed tab, and then it's like, you mean, hold on, it was a robot, so. Do you mean this? Yes, Copilot. You are welcome. No problem. Maybe you should go out to lunch. Yeah, maybe I should, and you can just write the rest for me. Was that crazy? No, seriously, that's bananas. That I was like, what's that parse thing? And then I like pressed tab, and it was it. Okily dokily. Base path equals path of the base path. And then dot resolve dot full path, full absolute. And then I can just say, there you go. We're so going to be out of a job. I'm going to control plus just so you can get a sense for what. I don't need to go that big. It's fine. This is fine. If BP dot exists and UP dot exists, then we can do the thing. Pass. No. Else, boom. Oh, this one we don't need to resolve. This is not a resolvable one because that needs to look like Azure ML. If not. Nice. Okay, look at us writing some Python. Boom. Control Z, because I know someone's from Vancouver, so we got to say Z for folks. By the way, for those that are wondering, like, what the heck are you doing? Trying to figure out what a better model is for all of this stuff, and so I'm going to try to auto-MLify it now. Is what I'm doing. Looks like somebody did clip me poking my eye. Hopefully. So if you're on Twitch, go follow me on Twitch. It's just at Seth Juarez. Poked myself in the eye. Hold on. I'm gonna tweet this out. Twitter. Just poked myself in the eye during a live stream. Colon. How's your day going? aka.ms AI show live. What will happen? So clickbaity. Oh man, that is just clickbaity. Boom. Okay, look at there. There you go. People are. Oh, hello, Diego. Bienvenido, amigo. Bienvenido. Okay. Okay, and remember our here's our data's over here, and we have the Rochambeau. So we need to get the format here. Let's get a line out. Okay, and then we'll put this in a quote up here so I can remember. Oh wow, I love that it's remembered that it's a comment. Okay. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna have to figure out this thing, how we can point to it. The image details I think we can get just by going to the raw, because it will tell us at the end, right? Hold on, let me move this over. It will, yeah, it'll ping. It's a ping file, and then we could probably get the size of it with Python, just with some. Okay. 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 Let's see here. This might also be a problem because I'm assuming there's a lot of assumptions. Like, I'm assuming that these images are going to be inside of Azure ML. So let's go to our data. I wonder if we should no, because we don't want data. We want data. So there's a difference between data assets and data stores. Data assets are like things we use to train. Data stores are like connections. I wish we would just change the name of this to like connections or something. So I go to product reviews all the time. Don't tell anyone. And if I hear this from someone else, I'll know that it was you who ratted me out. But everyone has their predilections for things, and I made a bingo card so that when I'm in product review or spec review meetings, I like cross off my bingo card with stuff that people say. I'll give you an example of something on my bingo card. What about ML Flow? Always in there. We always talk about that. So if I check it off, I almost got close. I had 3 review meetings in one 3 review meetings in one day. I thought I would complete my bingo card. Just missed one thing. Yeah. FYI. Okay, so for example, looks like I have this experimentos. ¿Dónde estamos? Experiments. And in experiments, I have a bunch of stuff. And Rochambeau is the data where we have it. But the thing is, does this script have to go see what's in here? Like, is there a way to do an LS on these things? Oh, somebody. All right. Azure ML SDK v2 data store. Okay. Yeah, so I did that. But is there a way to like do an LS on it? Okay. Okay. Oh, jeez, this is a permissions thing. So I think my biggest problem is that I'll have to update this ML table based upon what's in my storage, not what's in my local file. How do I do that in a smart way? Okay, let's go back here. Azure blob storage list blobs. Am I just going to have to circumvent this thing? Yeah, I get this. Sure. Blobs. Just move list. Okay. Here we go. Quick start. Here we go. Storage Explorer. By the way, if you don't use this thing, it's delightful. Fantastisch. Here's the HAL dataset storage account. And I think blob containers. Blobbies. Los blobbies. I think there's one called experiments. No. Where is the experiments one? Let's go look. Overview. HAL datasets, experiments. Perfect. So HAL datasets, there's this thing called experiments. Cool. So I'm going to open me some notepad here on the side. Excuse me. Oh, embarrassing. How do we... Let's see. I wonder... No, that's not what I want. I want experiments. Because that's where the Rochambeau stuff is, or RPS stuff I put there in as well. Okay, so we got that. We added a container. We uploaded the block blobbies. Download a block blob. We don't want to do that. I just want to list them. For the love of all that is holy. This is cool because we got to figure this out later, because remember we're working on a feature where folks can upload their own pictures to make the model better. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run an AutoML job and just use that with some RAI in it. And anytime, like every week, I'll just refresh the JSON-L data file. Like I said, most of machine learning is that data janitor stuff, and I'm literally in the throes of it right now. Ugh. Ugh.
Where's my cookie?
Okay. Upload a blob. Download a blob. Python SDK blob storage. Start. Azure blob storage client for Python. Pip install Azure storage blob. Azure identity. Don't mind if I do. We'll put it in the venv. Okay. C D A I L S pip installed. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. As we say in Oklahoma. Oh. Upgrade pip, you say? Don't mind if I do. Ooh, blah. 1, 2. Okay. So now that we've done that, I'm going to use a .env file. .env. And then, of course, no .envs for you. .env. Goodbye. It's a secret data. Secret. Nobody can see it. Okay. Let's see here. Now that we've done that, yeah. I wonder, import OS, ed. Let's go over here to our Gen Auto ML. And the reason why we're doing this is because I realize that if I'm looking for data on this path, it's not going to match what's in storage. So I need to, do my thing here. Okay. Object model. There's an account, a container, and a blob. Yes. A blob service client allows you to manipulate Azure Blob. Container client class allows you to manipulate Azure storage. Code examples. Authenticate. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's try it. Copy. Okay. Def list blobs. Look at that. How do you do? How do you do? Beep, beep. Why am I typing like a buffoon? Look. Oh my gosh. Good gravy. Good gravy. There it is. I'm sitting here trying to figure out how to do it. And it was just like, just sit down, Seth. Sit down. Where is this coming from? No. There you go. Storage account. It's a string. We're going to F string this. Doop. What are we doing with our lives? We're going to... Y'all can go to sleep for a second. Did I just close the file? I believe I did. Okay. Now let's list blobs here. What'd I just do? Okay. I don't know what I'm doing. List blobs. That's what you think it is? Wrong. HAL datasets. HAL datasets. HAL datasets. Okay. But I think we also need to container client list blobs. Is there like a... All right. Let's just see what happens. And you know what? We're gonna step through this code because why not? Why not? There we go. F10 account URL, HAL datasets, default credential. Let's create a client. Nice. Blob list. Oh, blob service client has no. Let's go to debug console and say container client bot. list containers. Yeah, I think I need to get the container. Get container. Is there like a get container client? And then we want our container client to be experiments, and then that's our container client. So we'll do that. No, we got a container client though. Blob service client. Storage account host mixin. Storage encryption mixin. Okay. Example. Stop. So container client. We've got the container client. Dot. Blob client. List blobs. Let's try that. Let's try it again. What is the harm? By the way, you're wondering, like, how does it know that it's me? I'll tell you in a second. Let's see if this works. What? That's what I did. This is what I did. Let's try it. Stop. Boop. Why didn't it like this? Let's try it again. Okay, so here's all the things here. Container client. Yeah, see, it's got it. It's got the credentials in there. Looks like it's got the primary endpoint host name. Yeah, so it's in there. It's in there. So let's do container client, see what we can dot into in the debug window. By the way, have you ever debugged Python? Isn't this glorious? What do we got here? What do we got here? List. Is that all we can do? I'm just going to force you, okay, to iterate. Oh. What's the problem? ¿Qué pasó? X. Yeah, something's wrong. Oh, everything is broken. I've deadlocked it. Oh. That was scary. That was very scary. Okay. So let's do this. Let's go over to account URL, default Azure credential. So let's just go. Let's go super slow. Super slow. So you see, we're literally doing the same thing. So we don't need this. Blob service client. Okay, that's what we did. Oh, snap! It's almost time to go. I'll put my walk-off music here to remind me of what I'm doing. So we have the container client. Maybe I need to get the container first. I mean, yeah, because it's got the container client. So that's what we don't have. So blob service client dot get container, get container client. That container client is going to get the experiments because that's the container inside of the. So HAL data sets, the blob container is experiments, and then, oh, here's this. My debugging is placing console log print. Yeah, I mean, I do that too. But wow, being able to look inside of a. So let's put this in here. Okay, let's try now. Debug. Kaboop. Here we go. Default Azure credential. Blob service client. Get the container client. Container client has been acquired. List the blobs. Something's happening. Maybe there's so many blobs. Yeah, what is going on here? This should be going faster. Stop. Let's just run it. Nada. By the way, for those watching, coming up in a couple of weeks, we have January 13th, Azure ML and Talk Like a Pirate, R Day. R. We might do something in between too. I don't know. We're also thinking of changing day and time. Going once a week for an hour instead of twice every other week for 2 hours, just to get a little more consistency. And because I'm not gonna lie, we certainly love hanging out, my good friends. I'll figure this out. We'll get back to Auto ML for images. It's been a pleasure and delight being with every single one of you. If you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out to me on my email address. It's right there, Seth Juarez, SethJuarez@Microsoft.com or @SethJuarez. Privilege and a pleasure being with you. If I don't see you and you're going off the holidays, have a wonderful holidays. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully we will see you next time on the AI Show live. Take care and have a good rest of your day. Bye.